Oh, you can't defend yourself. You can't defend your home. You can't do anything about what's happening. And that's why California is falling. For many of us, we had to evacuate years ago, back in 2020 and 2021, because we were watching California burn politically. Radical Democrats literally popped up and showed their true colors. And for us, the state's been burning. Defund the police turned into demoralize the police, and they don't want to do their job no more. Anything goes. If there's a crime committed against you in California, there is no investigation. No one's going to jail. And depending on who committed the crime against you, you'll be deemed a racist for even wanting laws to be enforced against the person who perpetrated it, depending on your racial background and the person who did this against you. So we've been watching California burn for a long time. And it's just sad, that we're watching it happen in real time, but this is happening in Los Angeles. Now, I'm from there. I've been on the 405 freeway where you could feel the heat from the fire. But it's right over there by the Getty's Museum, and it happens all the time. But Palisades, this is huge. Also, we have these extremely strong winds. So that means these fires are spreading faster than you can run. It's really hard to get away. So I'm watching videos of people, and literally the only option they have is to try to get to the beach. So if you have horses, if you have sheep, there's a lot of people. It's like a desert next to the beach. If you're in Palisades or that part of Malibu, a lot of dry brush, especially this time of year. We don't, even when we have a lot of rain, we have literally poor policies. We have no water retention policies. And also with all the bureaucracy from the EPA, we're really not able to cut down vegetation and do controlled burns like we're supposed to. It's like a huge money laundering scam just being a resident of California, unfortunately. And if you think about it, all these properties, yeah, it looks really horrible, but think about it. These people are celebrating, especially if you have a house that's for sale in a place where home invasions happen every day to all your neighbors. You can't go anywhere anymore in California, especially in Los Angeles. It's not safe. There's no police. So you can't. So the best part of living in Los Angeles is all the stuff there is to do, right? There's been nothing to do since 2020. And that's when my bottom line got affected. And I said, I need to go somewhere that's open. And I literally jumped around between 5 different states until I found freedom in Texas. Texas was wide open. They had never locked down. They never did masks. I stayed here. But these are all people that a lot of these houses are overpriced, upside down. So in a way, these fires are a blessing in disguise. The problem is you got to have the right type of insurance for this to qualify. But even if you don't, it's a communist state. You can sue and you will win. Look at this. Looks like a movie. It's like a scene out of a movie. This is why you see so many people on foot running away. And do you know how hard it is to breathe with that type of smoke in the air? Very difficult, very extreme. And look at, you got electric cars, a lot of Teslas. They're not going to do too well once that battery runs out, and there's no one coming that can bring gas and pour it into your Tesla where you can drive that car off. You're going to have to be towed away. But if you have hundreds of Teslas in a certain area, listen, that's 3 Teslas right there. 1, 2. I'm from California. I have a Tesla. It's a horrible investment. This will be the last electric car I ever buy, not just because I don't trust Elon Musk or the agenda, but just because it's not really cool anymore. If you don't have a charging station at home, luckily I do, but if you have to go to a charging station, you know how long those lines are? And then what if somebody wants to rob you while you're at the charging station? You can't just drive off. You have to disconnect, get it to your, it's logistically a nightmare even having these Teslas. So it doesn't make a lot of sense. And yeah, people, I wear this red MAGA hat when I do a lot of my lives because I wanted to live in Trump country. California is not Trump country right now. And he talked about we got to take care of the floors. We got to take care of the floors in the forest. That means we got to take care of the vegetation. We have to clear this out. California has this. Yeah, it's tragic and it's horrible. But do you know we literally deal with this annually in California? Every fucking year, the same thing happens, and no one has a bright idea within a 12-month span to come up with a strategy on how to avert it for next year. To me, that says this is supposed to happen. People want this to happen. There's a financial incentive for this to happen. I don't know if you guys remember the PG&E fires in Northern California, where people said they saw lasers just beaming down, and you see an entire tracts of homes that were just completely turned to dust. And that was I believe it was in Santa Rosa, California. If you're in Los Angeles, Santa Rosa is about 8 hours north. My home state's a huge state. It takes you a long time to get in and out, to get out of it, especially if you're in the LA area. But just look at this. It's like Dante's Inferno. Unbelievable. And this is where a lot of this stuff starts, and I live in downtown LA. A lot of my business is in downtown LA. You have no idea how many times I've watched these homeless people set their own tents on fire because they're in a makeshift house, which is a tent. They'll have electricity going to the tent. They'll have televisions running in there. They'll have a toaster. I've seen a guy with a little blow-up jacuzzi in his tent. All these fire hazards, and no one's going to come there and stop you from doing it. They let you do it. And then a few days later, that whole tent, like 20 tents around it, all go up in smoke. Then the brush on the side of the tents in the parking lot, and any of those cars that are parked around those tents, all go up in smoke. Happens every single day. And California policies protect criminals, protect crime, and they encourage this to happen. Do me a favor, if you're watching this on YouTube, like and subscribe. I'm trying to get followers up. I'm going to start doing more media and start doing more shows. I have some other really good ideas. I'm actually going to do a comedy based on the lockdowns, circa 2020 to 2023. And we're just going to go over how ridiculous it was from day one till 2023 when it ended. It's all going to be based in California, since I'm from California. And we're just going to go over ridiculousness. So that's why I'm trying to build my followers. A lot of you guys are watching us on YouTube. I mean, not on YouTube, but on Instagram. And we're going to just try to expand to more platforms. I have some, if you see the name of this page that you're watching, then you know what this page was originally all about. And I'm still all about that. I'm just not allowed to talk about that, but I can drop hints to it. I tell you this, there's a lot of people that are on television who had to comply to keep their jobs. A lot of them won't be here much longer. So in their absence, people like myself, we're going to step up. We're going to just start doing media. We'll start doing our own forms of journalism, and we'll just talk to people who want to hear it. Anybody who shares our opinions and our views, you want us to talk, let's talk. Of course, I'm pretty conservative. I guess I'm right wing. They said if you don't believe that men can become women, and if you won't date a man who's dressed as a woman because he's still a man, and they're going to call you names that makes you right wing, well then just call me right wing Rico. That's fine. I can live with that. But definitely we're not going to pretend that men can become women. So I guess that's an extreme point of view right now. Well, it was. Now that Trump's coming back in office, sanity is going to be restored, hopefully. And already the world is healing. The next topic we're going to talk about is what happened with Facebook's fact-checking bullshit and how it just fucking folded today, finally. And it should have never been there in the first place. But it just shows you how much of a grifting coward piece of shit that super rich dude Zuckerberg is. It just shows you how much of these people, they never believe in their own bullshit. They'll say anything to save their own skin at the time. Soon as he found out that the assassination attempt against Trump didn't work, immediately he wants to come out and call Trump a badass and this and this. But remember, you kicked him off of Facebook. You banned him and anybody like myself who shared content that was basically pro-Trump, pro-America. You know, I had a Facebook account, 12 years of pictures, of family photos, and you know, things that I used to write, my thoughts, all kinds of stuff for 12 years, and lost it all when I shared the Hunter Biden laptop. That wasn't the first time I, you know, for that was in like December of 2020. I had my page being flagged for 30-day restrictions ever since March, when I started asking questions and saying, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. What the news is telling me is one thing. What journalists and what these medical journals are reading, medical journals, if you read them, they say something completely different. And I was flagged for medical misinformation and just for sharing memes that I would create. And eventually they just completely nuked my account from orbit. People are saying that now that Zuck is trying to get on the current winning team, that some of us might have a chance of getting our pages back. I don't know if my page is deleted or just banned, but you know, we'll see. But we'll go more into that in a second. I just wanted to go over some more of these videos. Santa Monica, California, very expensive, and it used to be very beautiful. Look at that smoke. The winds are blowing that smoke, and it's so strong. And this was early in the daytime. Right now, these fires are burning at night. So it looks like you're in hell. It's very scary. And I want to remind people, if you have pets, if you have animals, do not leave your animals behind. Don't leave your dogs. Don't leave your cats. They are family too. Just because they're, you know, your pets, it doesn't mean that they don't feel fear and they're not going to be afraid, and they're not going to, they also need oxygen. Smoke inhalation is not going to just kill you, it'll kill them too. Don't leave your pets behind. Don't do it. But look at this. More footage. Imagine you're driving to your home that you pay a mortgage on or you pay rent on every single month. All your stuff's in there. Your social security card, your valuables, pictures of your family, your clothing, everything. And you see the embers are blowing at 70 miles per hour down the street. So that means any of these trees can catch fire. Your neighbor's house can catch fire. Your neighbor's car can catch fire, and then that car can explode, especially if there's a lithium battery. And then if the neighbor's car blows, what does that do to your house? I mean, look at these fires. It looks like there's an accelerant, which there probably is. You know, it could be fueled by electricity. There could be oil products in the house. It could be the paint. You know, some of these homes are very old, and just the paint they use alone could be an accelerant for these fires. And look at this man with this little bitty water hose. What the fuck is that going to do? You know, and like I said, I'm from California. This is my home state. I see this every year, but this is a little bit different. I've never seen the smoke go that high and go out that far. And I've never seen just this type of destruction in our Southern California.
From LAFD that they are so strapped for resources that they're looking for firefighters to call in to this hotline to help in this firefight. That number is on your screen. It is 213-576-8962. So again, LAFD saying we need all firefighters on deck. So if you anybody who knows the name of this page, the Safe and Effective Podcast, let's see if you guys can guess why we might not have enough firefighters anymore after the vaccine mandates of 2021. What happened if you didn't meet the deadline to comply with Biden's threats? What happened if you worked for the city, the state, if you were law enforcement and you believed in the Constitution, if you're a firefighter but you believe in the Constitution? What did they make you do? What did you do? You're no longer with the fire department. You're no longer with the force. So the only people that remained were people that just wanted to check. Real heroes, you don't have to send out an